putting an end to identity politics. This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. I tweeted, I didn't tweet it. I talked about a tweet that Eric Holder talked about or did a while back. It was he said this. He said, I said about 8 months ago that the actions and integrity of men and women of the DOJ and FBI would be unfairly questioned. It's happening, and it will get worse. Be prepared. Be strong. You have the support of millions committed to the truth, justice, and the defense of this nation. And I said, that's Eric Holder, who's actually telling you that he's afraid, that he understands that the men and women at the DOJ and the FBI were definitely crooks, and it is going to get worse. That's the only part of it that's true in the statement. But they've done this America a complete disservice. And here's one of the things that came up that I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this, but this is from justice.gov. The Department of Justice enters into conditional settlement agreement to produce fast and furious documents to the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform. This happened on March the 7th. The Department of Justice entered into this agreement with the House on Oversight and Justice for whatever, and will begin to produce additional documents related to Operation Fast and Furious. Now, I bring this up because Eric Holder's back into the spotlight. This is a guy that should have disappeared. Why isn't he? And he tweets about Comey. He tweets about all these things. Oh, Donald Trump, he's mean-spirited, this, that, and the other. And then we find out they're now going to look again in the scandal-free administration of Barack Obama requesting these documents. Now, thankfully, Judicial Watch has requested lots of stuff, and that's how we've gotten to some things. The IG has responded to it, Inspector General Horowitz, and we've gotten some answers. And, of course, we've got Julian Assange of WikiLeaks to thank for most of what has happened over the past couple years. But they said this conditional settlement agreement filed in federal court in D.C. would end 6 years of litigation arising out of the previous administration's refusal to produce documents requested by the committee. In announcing the settlement, Attorney General Sessions said, "The Department of Justice under my watch is committed to transparency and the rule of law. This settlement agreement is an important step to make sure that the public finally receives all the facts related to Operation Fast and Furious." Now, for those of you who have forgotten, Operation Fast and Furious was gun running into Mexico. And it was allowed by the Fed, by Barack Obama's Fed, under the watchful eye of Eric Holder. Now, people were going, what was that all about, Kevin? Let me tell you what it was about. It was about getting gun dealers in trouble. That's what I think part of the thing was. But the bigger picture of it was they wanted to, supposedly they were going to mark these guns and see where they ended up. But they were trying to get the cartel to have enough ammunition so they could allow for an influx of illegals, and we would be able to offer them amnesty under the refugees status versus strictly illegals. It would be a way for the United States government under Barack Obama to say every illegal in this country is now protected as a refugee. That's not the way it was proposed. That's not how people talked about it. But that's what it was about. And Eric Holder and Barack Obama are knee deep in the scandal as to how it happened. And of course, they say they were scandal free. This is why you were so lucky that we got Donald Trump elected. Now, let's go back to Sessions. People, I talked the other day. People want to blame Jeff Sessions. He's a meek kind of seeming guy. He's a very nice guy, very amiable. He's amenable, I should say, amicable guy. He just, hey, how you doing? Got that old Southern thing. And I think, quite frankly, it may be more disarming than people realize, that he may be more of a real lion underneath that than he lets people on to be. That's a lot of the way the country folks are. They come at you. Ray Charles called it, what do you call it? A country dumb. Because people think you're dumb, but you're really smart. They call it country dumb. I think that's the term. I'm not sure. But what the term that it's done, the context that it's used in is that people think because you talk like this here, you must be stupid. And so they think of you as country dumb, when in fact, you're smarter than they are. And I'm thinking Sessions may be fooling a lot of these folks. What do you think's going to come out of this? I don't know. I'd be curious to get your thoughts. KJRadio.com, or give us a call at 844-551-8255. So these ominous warnings that are coming from, Holder, Comey, and others. Watch out. Be careful. Ooh. By the way, Barack Obama, that I know of, did not chime in on the McCabe story. But here's another one that came out. An investigation of the FBI. A top House Republican, get this, is preparing to subpoena the Justice Department for records gathered by its Inspector General in the review of how the FBI handled its 2016 investigation of Hillary Clinton. I go back to that tweet from Eric Holder. More is coming. Folks, I'm telling you, I'm not an insider. I don't know what more is coming, but I do know more is coming. Lawmakers have clamored. They said this. This is according to two GOP sources, but they say lawmakers have clamored to obtain the 1.2 million documents that the Inspector General Michael Horowitz has gathered in his investigation, which has already led to the ouster of FBI Director Andrew McCabe, and on the eve of his retirement. But so far, Republicans have complained that the Justice Department has turned over only a few thousand of the documents. Representative Bob Goodlatte out of Virginia, chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, is preparing to issue an imminent subpoena to the department to produce the documents. Now, I mentioned to you guys before, according to Tom Fitton of Judicial Watch, he sued the Trump administration more than he sued Obama to get documents. In the earlier thing I just talked about, where they're looking into Fast and Furious, I don't know what precipitated that, but it is happening. This particular thing now, given that Sessions is now saying, let's start opening up the Komodo. Is this the beginning of looking at all this stuff? Is this the beginning of looking at the VA scandal? Is it the beginning of looking more into Benghazi? I'll be honest with you. I don't want to hear about some of the old stuff. We have enough with just what the FBI has done in the Hillary Clinton investigation to last a lifetime. 1.2 million documents that Michael Horowitz has in his possession around this investigation that led him to essentially just open up a can of worms on the Democrats, and that has led to the firing of McCabe, who, by the way, many insiders are saying is only the tip of the iceberg. I told you guys of a tweet from Stonewall Jackson, a guy that we mutually follow each other on Twitter, and he says, what you're going to find out from Inspector General Horowitz on McCabe is going to make Democrats run from him as far as they can, like he's been nuclear irradiated. They're going to get out of there. Now, again, I don't know what's there. All I know is that to be a Democrat today associated with Hillary Clinton and soon to be associated with Barack Obama, you are toxic. It means nobody's going to want to touch you. And I gave you guys some things to look for. I said, watch how the media at some point starts to handle Donald Trump. Watch the slow transition from late night comics to where they no longer ridicule. They're still ridiculing him right now. They're still talking smack because they're holding on to the vestige of maybe we can take him down. Maybe Stormy Daniels will do him in. Maybe the Republicans will lose the House. Let me tell you something right now. Number one, I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. The Republicans are not going to lose the House. In fact, I think they'll gain seats in the House. They'll gain seats in the Senate, undoubtedly. And the moment that election ends, and it goes the way that I just told you, you're going to watch the Democrats start running for cover in a way you've never seen before. They are going to bolt. You're going to hear people talking. I know. I need an immunity deal. I need this or that. And you're going to watch the wheels fall off their wagon so fast it'll blow your mind. Because that's it. They will have a full, solid 4 years of Donald Trump with control of the House and the Senate, a man who knows how to get things done. They will know that Donald Trump is going to get reelected because their plan is thwarted. And you're going to watch the rats jump ship, like you've never seen before. So hold out. I honestly think you're going to start seeing the deck chairs get shuffled pretty quickly now. Certainly by the end of summer. But when the day comes after November, you're going to have the best Christmas ever, and you're going to watch Democrats going bananas. You think you're having fun watching these clowns now? You give it a few months, and it's going to be game on.
He won't stop until he's the top-rated radio talk show host in America.
What kind of weird competitive freak are you?
This is the Kevin Jackson Radio Show.